Here's my guided tour of the sites that I visited when I went to Jug Bay. So you can see on the map right here that I started in the meadow near the parking lot, and I counted that as one site. And then I also counted the nature center as my second site. And then for my third, I included this forested area, which is Otter Point Trail and Railroad Bed Trail. And for my fourth site, I did the birdwatching observation deck. And for my fifth, I did Scrub Shub Boardwalk. Starting with my first site, which was the parking lot and meadow, most of the fruits had died by the time that I came across this plant, but it appears to be the Phytolacca americana, or the American pokeweed. It is distinguishable by its bright fuchsia pedicels and pentacle, its black berries arranged like a raceme, and its rounded 5-lobed calyx. I was really surprised when I found this because I didn't know that cacti were native to this area, but based on the plant's distinct ovular flattened stem segments and the geographic location I found it in, I think that it is Optunia humifosa, or the eastern prickly pear. At first I thought this might be Campsis radicans because that was a similar looking plant that was described in the PowerPoint, but this plant lacks the serrated leaves, so I think that it might actually be Ipomia cousinia, or the red morning glory. And it looks like it would be popular amongst hummingbirds or any kind of bird because of the red flower, but in my picture here I have an insect pollinator. This plant is Anthropogon ternarius. It was identifiable by its feathery inflorescences as well as the colorful stems. This is Euphorbia Coralata. It is noticeable by its flowers composed of 5 white bracts and the capsular fruit. This is Verbicina occidentalis. It was mentioned in the PowerPoint, and it was also described on posters at the Nature Center, and I identified it using its yellow ray flowers. This is Hibiscus Trinum. I identified it by its 3-part toothed, helmetly divided leaves. It was absent from the native species list, but I think that might be because it was artificially introduced to the United States from the tropics, and it tends to be invasive. This is Chasmanthium Latifolium. It is recognizable by its dangling clusters of seed heads. My last plant for this site was Asclepias amplexicalis. It is characterized by the cross-like arrangement of the large flat leaves, and it is also known more commonly as the clasping milkweed. My next site is the Visitor Center. The first plant I identified here was the Camalina Kamunas. I remembered this one from lab. It's also known as the Asiatic dayflower. It is very easily recognizable by its inflorescence, the unique shape of the blue petals, the spathe, and the stamen arrangement. This is the Phlox paniculata. It also was not in the master document of native species, but considering that it's near the Nature Center, I thought maybe it was introduced, and it also tends to spread beyond its native range. So it is characterized by its panicles of tubular flowers and its opposite dicussate leaves. This is Elephantopus Carolinas. It is identified by its flower head, containing clusters of light purple disc florets and bracts. This is Persicaria maculosa. I also thought it might be Persicaria longicetta, but that was not in the document of native plants, and they're very similar in appearance. This is Epiphagos Virginiana. It's characterized by its raceme of pink tubular flowers and the opposite leaves. My third site is the forest and the railroad bed trail. The first plant I identified here was Chimpophila Mascalata. It's characterized by the stacked triangular arrangement of its leaves and the distinct white veins on its leaves. This is Euonymus americanus. It has opposite oval leaves, and it has a bright pink spiked capsule containing the fruit. This is Epiphagos Virginiana. It's a parasitic plant, and it must obtain its nutrients from the American beech. It's characterized by its bronze upright stem, its purple flowers, and its complete lack of leaves. It took me so long to figure out what this thing was, but I think it is the seed pod of Campsis radicans, the American trumpet vine. This is Ulmus cerulata. It's recognizable by the male catkin inflorescence, the stalked buds, and the simple serrate leaves. My next site is the bird watching boardwalk. This is Typha Latifolia, or the common bellrush. This particular sample has gone to seed. This is Sagittaria latifolia, or the broadleaf arrowhead. Its leaves are arranged in a rosette, and it has parallel venation meeting in the middle of each leaf. This is Persicaria aerifolia, and this is Sepalianthus occidentalis, and it is recognizable by the spherical shape of its inflorescences and the arrangement of the inflorescences. My last site is Scrub Shrub Boardwalk. This is Symphyotrichum puniceum, or the swamp aster. It's characterized by the pale purple ray flowers. Its flower head actually moves continually to face the sun, so it maximizes its reflectivity, and it attracts more pollinators such as bees, including this one that's shown here. This is Ilex Verticilata, or the winterberry. It's distinguishable by its clusters of red drupes. These are rose hips of Rosa palustris, or the swamp rose, which is a rose species native to this area. This is Impatiens Capensis. It's characterized by its unique flower shape. It has a hooked sepal spur at the base. It's also characterized by its unique exploding fruit, its serrated leaves, and its smooth stem. Finally, I have a species of Cuscuta. I think that it is Cuscuta gronovi because the stems are smooth, as opposed to Cuscuta pentagonia, which has a textured stem but is also native to this area. And these plants have decreased levels of chlorophyll, and some don't even photosynthesize at all because they are completely parasitic. So that is all of the plants that I found at Jug Bay, and thank you for listening.